Welcome to the show.
We're in our new studio upgrade.
Yeah, guys, this is the new studio. Splintery as hell.
Ow! Ooh.
Here, let me show you.
Soccer mom's sitting these things.
Kill, hand me my new chair.
Well, it's still under construction.
Yeah, we're working on mine. It should be pretty cool though when it's done. It says top spot. I think they misspelled top spot.
And it's hard to control the lighting because we just have an open window right here.
Yeah, it's a great window actually. It's the first window ever made.
And lastly, before we get onto things, we got some rope right here.
Yeah, in case we need to string someone up.
So today I'm going to read an article, a CNN opinion article that I already read. It was one of the worst things I've ever read.
First thing I haven't read yet.
Yeah, Derek has absolutely no idea what he's about to hear me read to him.
I never have any idea. People keep telling me, quit overdosing on that testosterone. Can't help it. I'm all natural. I'm natty as hell. Never taken 2 steroids.
Loading Twitter. Okay, so. What the heck? CNN posted, the idea that Trump could be the next House Speaker is not only an insult to our republic, given Trump's role in the January 6th insurrection, it is exactly what the Democrats need to animate voters who reject Trumpism to come out to the polls.
I literally have no idea what any of that even means. They just like threw out like all like the, what's the thing? Like those, like just all the words that people want to hear, like insurrection, Trump, bad, insult. Man.
So it's an opinion, but
are you sure?
So
see. They state it like it's a fact. They're like, Trump is a demon, in my opinion.
Yeah,
Wink.
So it's an opinion by Dean Obeidallah. There's a fine line between opinions and activism.
Yeah.
This is just pure activism. I don't know how CNN can get away with this. You know, I was thinking while I was taking a shower earlier.
Were you naked?
Yes.
Gosh!
I was thinking to myself, I wish I had as much liberty and freedom as the press do. The press has more freedom and liberty of speech than anyone else on the planet.
Yeah,
they can say whatever they want and get away with it.
It's as much of an opinion as when they do the thing where they're like, opinion, we're all going to be dead in 20 years from global warming.
Yeah,
it's like
exactly.
It's only like you slide the little opinion at the start as if you're not just
it's
trying
just
to scare people.
activism designed to fearmonger to make money. That's really all it is.
They get 10 ducks an hour.
Close your eyes and picture this come January 2023.
Closing my eyes.
Speaker of the House, Donald J. Trump.
Beautiful.
If you are like most Americans, the thought of Trump, the man who incited an act of domestic terrorism, as FBI Director Christopher Wray has defined the January 6th attack on the Capitol, as Speaker is both appalling and alarming.
I was trying to envision it with my eyes closed and it didn't work because I immediately became like something. It's so ridiculous. It's literally the same as being. I should stop saying literally all the time. I'm gonna stop that. It's just this weird progression where they're like, imagine this: former President Donald Trump and former Vice President Joe Biden confronting each other, and then a knife gets pulled and Donald Trump gets stabbed to death. Isn't it great? Like they have like this sudden escalation where all of a sudden it goes from just a simple thought, and then all of a sudden it gets to this really dark area.
Yeah, we're gonna get more to that.
It's like imagine a world with trees and fire, and your head getting pulled off your shoulders.
Yet it appears some Trump backers are on board, or at least telling Trump supporters that if the GOP wins the House back in the 2022 midterm election, they may choose Trump as Speaker, presumably in the hope it will increase the turnout of their base. The Speaker doesn't have to be a member of Congress, so this scenario is possible. This again affirms how dangerously out of touch some in Trump world. I like how he capitalized Trump world.
Like it's a real place.
Like world.
Well, at least it's a real place, unlike wherever their head's at.
Yeah.
Wherever his head's at is all lowercase. Unlike us who live in Biden world. It's like all lowercase.
And spelled incorrectly.
Spelled like WURLDE.
No, W.
World.
If they think it's a winning strategy to elevate a man who incited an attack on that very chamber to become its leader.
I just realized how many times he said it already.
Yeah, okay, so...
You know, he incited an attack when he said, what was it he said?
He said, let there be peace. That was the last thing he said.
I think if you scramble the letters in peace, it spells out insurrection.
So there needs to be peace. And then they banned him and called him an insurrection inciting human. Second, I can't think of any other development that could inspire the record number of voters who opposed Trump in 2020 come out again in 2022 to vote Democrat and prevent Trump from becoming speaker.
Vote blue no matter who. He's not even trying to become speaker. That's a funny thing.
He said it would be an interesting idea, which this guy mentions.
I think he said that about everything. People are like, you're going to run for governor of New York? It'd be an interesting idea. Going to run for Speaker of the House? It'd be an interesting idea. You're going to run for president again? It'd be an interesting idea. You're going to eat that sandwich? It'd be yes.
I got this big just beam of light right here. Look at that. A position that would put him third in line to be president according to the rules of presidential
succession. Then it'll
succession.
come down to a fight where he has to wrestle Kamala or Kamala, if you want to be correct, and Nancy Pelosi. He's taking them both on. He has them both by the head, one arm each, and then he's like... Yeah.
Trump as speaker can't be dismissed as simply
terrifying
Washington Beltway talk. The idea was first raised by Trump's former campaign manager, Steve Bannon, in late February. But Trump gave the idea oxygen himself last week on conservative radio when he told the host that the idea was, quote, very interesting. From there, the idea
very interesting. Now, you might as well have said yes.
Here, wait a second. I'm going to burn through this.
Speaker. Imagine Trump speaking. Imagine that man with the golden hair speaking. Terrifying thought. Inciting an insurrection to the left of us.
Okay.
To the right of us. Left of you. Right of me. This article's too retarded for me, Caleb.
You know what? I'm just going to skip the next few paragraphs. He just names several other Republicans and whoever who have mentioned this exact same idea. Yada, 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 winning the House back. GOP leader Kevin McCarthy was on Fox News, where there was, quote, some talk out there about Trump being appointed speaker if the GOP won. Yeah, okay. Passing all that up, so far Trump has not said whether he would serve as speaker if asked. But he might
insinuate that he might.
But he might find appealing the idea of being the chosen one if the Republicans win the House next year. All without having to face the possibility of another humiliating defeat because his name wouldn't actually be on the ballot.
Wait, what? What does that even mean?
He said he might find appealing that being the chosen one if the Republicans win the House next year, all without having to face the possibility of another humiliating defeat as running for president.
Okay.
Because his name wouldn't actually be on the ballot.
That's the part where I get thrown off. What does that even...
He's suggesting that if his name is on the ballot and the people are choosing, not the House, because the House chooses who their leader is.
You can't win if he's not on the ballot. I think you might need to have a frontal lobotomy.
It's true that the position of House Speaker doesn't have anything resembling the power of the presidency, especially if Democrats retain control of the Senate. But as Speaker, Trump could again attract the media attention he so desperately craves. He could also undermine the Biden administration. This was my favorite part. The Biden administration's agenda by taking up time leading nonstop baseless impeachment inquiries into both President Joe Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris.
What was the first thing? The thing I was about to mention? We said like...
Again,
the media. Yeah,
the media attention he so desperately craves.
It's like you keep giving him constant attention and then you act like he's not going to get the media attention he wants. We won't give it to him, right, fellas?
He hasn't been president for months and the media has not stopped talking about him for a single day.
Well, then I was going to
This guy's obsessed with Trump. This guy wants to kiss Trump,
He wants to wrap his lips around Trump's lips. But then what was the other thing, the really stupid part?
Baseless, nonstop impeachment inquiries that he presumes will happen. So he's saying that if Trump became speaker and if he tried to impeach Biden, it will be baseless.
Yeah, again, like, unlike the Trump's impeachments,
I
which
guess
are
it is
full
just
of
an
base,
opinion.
very basey.
See, this is where I say this is straight up activism. This is not journalistic opinion. This is activist opinion.
Yeah.
This is nothing to do with journalism. If this person considers himself a journalist, he should get fired instantly for his job because he's not doing it properly at all. So let's get through it a little bit more. There are many issues Democrats in 2022 want to run on. First and foremost, Biden's remarkable handling of the COVID-19 crisis.
He's so good at handling it. Look at all the vaccines he's given out. What about the cases and deaths? How are those looking? But look how many people have gotten the shot right in the arm. The way they base how well things are going on how many vaccines people have gotten.
Yeah.
It's not even like about the cases anymore or the deaths, which should be the most important thing. It's just about how many people.
It supposedly was.
Yeah, like if more people died today than ever before from coronavirus, all you would hear about is how many people have gotten the vaccine.
Yeah.
But hold on, guys. Let's not forget the big lie.
Biden's remarkable handling of the COVID-19 crisis. Again,
I guess it is
just
remarkable in a certain perspective.
Yeah. Which even a Fox News poll in late May showed he had a 64% approval rating. But I can't think of a greater motivator for Democrats than turning the 2022 election into a referendum on Trump's return to national office.
Why did he pick a poll from May? Does he not realize how many polls there have been on Biden's approval since May?
As a reminder, by the time Trump left office in January, he had the lowest approval rating of any president since scientific polling began, at 34%, with a 61% disapproval.
How about like an average approval? Like
Yeah,
take all of
he's
his
like-
approval ratings from different sources and just do the average. Instead of your one poll you did at 1.cn nothing.
He doesn't say what
It's just a rant. It
that
doesn't
number
even.
is from.
Yeah, there's a good reason probably why.
He does show this one, which is that plus a Quinnipiac. I don't know.
Never heard of him.
Released after the January 6th attack on the Capitol found that 59% of Americans believe Trump should not be allowed to hold office ever again. Again,
Some polling place that nobody's ever heard of. Wow, great.
the 2022 Democratic campaign ads slamming Trump as possible speaker write themselves. For example, a commercial with clips of Trump speaking at the January 6th rally before the attack, telling the audience, "We are stuck with a president who lost the election by a lot. We're just not going to let that happen." And Trump bellowing, "The Democrats are trying to steal the White House. You cannot let them." Then we hear Trump tell the agitated audience, "We're going to walk down the Capitol," followed by clips of Trump supporters storming the Capitol, assaulting police offices, chanting, "Hang Mike Pence," and declaring during the attack, "Our president wants us here." The ad could conclude with images of Trump supporters storming the Capitol as we hear, "Now the Republican Party wants Trump as Speaker of the very chamber he incited his supporters to attack."
I like that he writes in the form of a edited CNN clip.
Yeah,
Like
I
it's
know.
like, Trump said this, cut to people invading. Like even in writing, they edit out all the context as if it's just a video.
Yeah.
Which is actually kind of impressive. Really puts an image in your brain.
Yeah, all the context here is butchered and destroyed. This guy's he has a
Hang
he
Mike
has-
Pence. Yeah, remember when what was it, 10 million people at the Capitol that day burning? What was it, 10 million people who burned the Capitol and they were all like wanting to hang Mike Pence and one of them brought like a big Mike Pence doll and hung it? That happened, remember? You saw the picture of Mike Pence hanging by one of these things? What do you call it?
It's a
I
rope.
doubt even CNN knows what this is called. They're like, is it a twine?
They would say it's a noose. Are they actually
Imagine-
stupid or do they pretend to be stupid?
Or they just like, the dumber we get, the more people listen. Like we're reading this because it's stupid.
Trump World's new strategy of floating Trump as Speaker of the House is not only an insult to our republic given Trump's role in the January 6th insurrection, it is exactly what the Democrats need to animate voters who reject Trumpism to come out to the polls. These are probably the worst choice of words.
You can also just tell that he's
animate voters.
Yeah, you can just tell he's dying for Trump to run for Speaker.
Yeah.
It's like, I could write another article if he does.
I bet that the head
CNN.
honchos at CNN, 100% chance they, tell their people to say insurrection in this because it's used so much. Mm-hmm. You could just say January 6th. You already referenced insurrection. I did quite well with reading comprehension and writing. Mm-hmm. When you say someone's name, you go on with he. Right.
No, it's Trump's insurrection, not like it always has to be.
You don't say the full thing every single time. That's terrible writing. So aside from bad journalism, they suck at writing so bad. Like they break the rules that they teach you in school and how you're supposed to write properly.
When Trump said that Trump wanted to incite an insurrection on January 6th, Trump meant that. Well, I'm sure he meant something bad, that Trump guy on January 6th Insurrection Day.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, was that a sentence? You seem like you said the same thing repeatedly.
That's what everything here is. Okay, so
maybe we should turn January 6th into like a holiday.
Actually, there was an insurrection on January 6th. It was when big tech started to take over the White House.
Yeah, there you go.
Anyways,
we should turn that into like an actual holiday that like people like get like a day off for January 6th to remember those who died that day, like Mike Pence who was hung.
Here, wait.
I can't believe conservatives turned against their own vice president like that. It's just so shocking.
Yeah, all 10 million.
Also, the 23 cops that got shot that day.
Yeah.
That was very unfortunate.
And the Democratic Congress members that were stabbed to death as well.
Yeah, remember that cop who put his head in the window and got shot?
Yeah.
By that lady.
If the GOP goes this route, it will make 2022 election a referendum on American democracy. And I'm confident more Americans will choose our democracy over Trumpism.
I like how he's basically saying, I'm confident that Americans are stupid and they'll believe what I'm saying.
Oh, here's another article by CNN. No. We're beginning to see the real Kamala Harris.
The real camel. We're seeing the second hump. I thought it was a mirage, but it was real. They're so they're such weenies. Like they literally lost nothing on January 6th as far as I can tell. Like they're literally complaining about a day where nothing happened to them. That's a big, let's say something happened on January 6th that made Trump win, I could get it if they complained about it for years. If something happened on January 6th that was oh, Trump wins or whatever, something ridiculous like that. Yeah. And it was I could see them complaining about that for years. Trump stole it, guys. On January 6th insurrection, they stole our democracy. It would still be absolutely stupid, but I could actually get it.
Yeah.
But they're literally complaining about a day where nothing bad happened to them.
Yeah, nothing bad happened to them.
It's the worst day for our democracy. What happened that day? Some people, they walked in and then they left and we shot one of them.
Yeah.
It's what? It's when you're still complaining about it.
It makes people hate other people more, and that just makes them more money. Yeah. They're basically just,
milking the cow.
Milking
the cow.
All right.
Getting the blood out of the udder.
That's all for today. You can find us at Twitter, YouTube, at Condoriano.
At Condoriano.
Cone with a K and Ano with an O-N-O.
Yeah, and you can find me at